Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Point of View. Willie Montague is back with us, and our girl Sunset is here to join the conversation.
Yes.
We've got a lot coming up on today's show. Donald Trump has officially commuted the life sentence of gang leader Larry Hoover. But what happens now? And you know, we like to keep you in the loop with the latest in tech. According to a new study, ChatGPT might actually be a better therapist than humans. Can you believe that? We'll break it down for you a little later. So come on in and join the discussion. If you're watching us live, feel free to chime in because you're watching POV. We never really know what Trump's planning next, but this one may have everyone talking. Willie, don't look at me. Yes, it's true. Donald Trump did commute the federal life sentence of Larry Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples. Hoover's a major figure who ran one of the most notorious street gangs in the U.S. and allegedly kept calling shots from behind bars. But before you jump to conclusions thinking Larry is a free man, not quite. Here's the twist. He's still serving a 200-year state sentence in Illinois for murder. A presidential computation only applies to federal charges, not state ones. So technically, he's still locked up. They won't let him out. What? They won't let him out. Locked up. They won't let him out. That's right. Thank you, Judy. That's right.
Taking it down.
So y'all, he is not out. At least not yet. Okay. So
what was the point?
Right. What was the point?
What are we doing?
Like, what did we do? Did we just like pretend that we was doing something just to say we was doing something, just to get everybody all riled up?
Yes.
And then, in all actuality, we really did nothing because the man is still locked up.
Locked up.
But why even
He's gonna die
this kind
there.
of man
That's right.
out of jail? I think this is one of those things where he's doing his antics again. Like you
Yeah.
got a gang leader who inside
It's a
was
distraction.
Still, he's
Thank
calling
you.
shots
Yeah.
inside still. So you're trying to get the people with low IQ to believe that you did something for the community.
That's
right, when you didn't.
When you did nothing.
Nothing.
They absolutely keep that
Right.
man behind the bars.
That's what they
why
wanna
is
do.
he
He is.
out?
Like,
why
he
is-
can't
why
actually
is
let
he a
him out.
topic, though?
right.
Right, a distraction.
You-
Why,
what I'm
why
saying?
not
A
for
distraction,
someone
a
that could
popular
really
name.
come out?
Exactly.
to create a loud distraction.
So what do y'all want from
Oh, here
I don't
we
want
go.
him to do that.
We don't want him
We
to
don't want
pretend
him
that
to
he's
do
doing
that.
something
Y'all
important
already
and not do
hold
nothing
on.
at
So
all.
what do you want?
Hold on. How about he pardoned the woman who is still behind bars because her husband molested children at a daycare?
Now that's
Well,
something.
Start there.
Let's
That's
write a
right.
ladder.
Let's
Write
start-
a ladder.
let's start
Let's
real-
Oh,
write a-
now it's right a ladder, right a
Write a
ladder. You so full of, you know what?
Write a ladder.
Like, what are we doing?
Like nothing.
I'm just disgusted. It's
It's a
like,
joke.
It's too much.
It's
too
a
much.
joke. Larry Hoover, like,
Right.
come on.
Stop it.
So you think these decisions, they just seem to be not based on any kind of justice?
No.
What about political strategy?
No.
Or
it is-
public
it
relations?
is
This
political
was a
strategy.
distraction.
Remember
Wait, but
politics
what
is-
political strategy? He has no more terms
To
run.
distract
Yes, what do you
what
the masses
distraction,
from
though?
whatever they're
He
doing
can-
up under
there's
our
some-
nose.
That's
What do you presume is happening under your nose?
Anything. They pass
We
bills
gonna
all the
find out.
time that we don't know about.
Those bills,
While
the
they're,
bills
while,
that are- the
yeah,
bills,
exactly.
the-
While they're
the
putting
bills.
something in our face in the media.
That's right.
Come
That's
on.
right.
Are you not able to do your
Right.
own research to see
Are
the
you know
language of the bills that are there?
Willie loves
He
to come on
has
here
no-
lying and being new.
He has no-
I'm trying so hard to
He
understand
is-
now.
he has so-
gibberish at this point.
He has no
Right.
more
Just
Just coming here
terms.
talking loud, y'all. He don't be knowing what he
Right.
be saying. He
He
just coming
He
here
has
talking loud
no,
about
he has no more
Willie,
terms.
please.
So tell me,
Please.
what do you think the
Let me-
political agenda is?
Please.
Thank you. Let
Can
me
you
tell
name
you
the
a story.
agenda he has right now?
He has an agenda.
What's
He
the
is
agenda?
here to make America great in a
Stop
bigly
talking.
way.
Please cut
Thank
him
you.
off.
We-
Cut him
Cut him
off.
off.
Cut
Here's
him.
the story.
Dude.
Here's the story about Larry Hoover. He was sentenced to 6 life terms for charges including conspiracy, extortion, and drug-related crimes. Of course, on top of that, as you know, he's serving 200-year state sentence in an Illinois prison for murder. Larry has been incarcerated for over 50 years. Does he deserve to be a free man?
No.
Right.
No.
So it's like you said, why are we talking about this man?
Why are we talking about him? He's getting press coverage, media coverage when there is
Release somebody that can come out.
When he's never going to see the light of day.
Right. There's so many other things we could be focused on. Again, there's a woman still serving a sentence for doing something to a husband who was touching on children. What are we really talking about?
Right. Now, was that federal or was that state, at the state level?
I don't know if it was federal or state, but he can't intervene. Put a spotlight on her story.
Yes.
There's so many other stories that we can highlight.
But we do have to say
this story is 50 years old.
I do agree that it should not be he murdered. But we do need to distinguish the difference between what is able to be done on a federal level and a state level. Because even if he does intervene, it would be up to, I don't know what the state laws is. I don't even know if they have that kind of jurisdiction to be able to do it. But it would be great because there's a lot of stories of women who defend their children and other children, and they get murder charges for protecting the children.
Right.
So I do agree that those cases need to be looked at as your self-defense and protection of the...
Write a letter.
Write a letter. That's right, Willie. It says that the president is unable to commute sentences at the state level.
Understood, but again, he's bringing...
President cannot commute sentences at a state level.
Oh, yeah.
But the issue is he's bringing light to issues. That's what the main priority, the biggest thing with our president, he likes to be in the spotlight. Whether he makes sense or don't make sense.
It don't matter.
So if he's going to do that, make it make sense.
Well, maybe if he brings spotlight to it, it will provoke the state to make some other
correct,
kind of
Willie. Now I'm on
your look
side.
at you,
That's
Willie.
The first thing
about to say something right. Okay. So we're going to change up the topic a little bit. Last week, we told y'all about the shocking allegations made against music legend Smokey Robinson. Well, now he's firing back. At 85 years old, Smokey isn't staying silent. He's hitting back with a $500 million countersuit against his former housekeepers, calling their accusations not just false, but deeply damaging. He says these women were like family to him, invited to holidays, supported financially, and now he's accusing them of elder abuse, defamation, and emotional distress. So the question now is, who is telling the truth?
Smokey.
The world may never know, but that's disgusting. Like, I think he's doing the right thing by countersuing immediately.
Yeah.
Because what I hate is for women to always be in the media saying when a certain person get to a certain stature in the media, all of a sudden it's all these allegations. You know how many women are actually getting sexually abused who never speak up?
Right.
For you guys to be doing this just for the sake of payday, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I just beg to differ after reading a little bit about the information in the lawsuit. I don't believe it. And that's just me. That's just a me thing, but it's not about belief. It's about what we can actually prove. And I'm not sure how you can prove something like that.
Right.
If it shows that these women were lying, they need to be behind bars.
Okay.
And that's a good question to that point is the proof part.
Yeah.
Because, it's... People get all this life, and everybody knows Smokey Robinson, 85 years old, and then you get to the peak of your life where you're transitioning, and then it's like, wow, as he said, holidays, I done gave you financial support, and now, now this is the only thing you can respond back to, because you notice this is almost like the number one thing that's always a response to is never anything else. It's always they did something to me. This year's
some
and
sexual
then it's
abuse,
and it's always that way, and it's always related to millions of dollars, but not just thousands, but millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, because they were suing big, and
$50 million.
For 10 years ago. I think they're going back. So he was what 74? He's 84, 85,
It
75.
looks like they were in cahoots, though. If y'all read the lawsuit, the stories literally sound the same. Yeah. Oh, we went to his blue room. Oh, he brought us to his blue room. He went to shower and he was in his underwear. Stop it. Like, y'all gotta stop. It just seems really ridiculous. Like, they look like they came together and conjured up a story.
Like, we gonna do this. We gonna get some money.
We gonna,
before Trump throw us out.
You're right.
I saw the blue room, so we can do this.
I was
don't try to do that and defame someone's character, because the worst thing that can happen is something like this gets smeared on your name, and it's harder to get people to believe the truth than a lie. So the fact that it's already out there, his name has already been tarnished. Some people would never not believe that he did this.
Right, yeah.
So, okay, so now we're seeing many celebrities fight for their innocence, are suing back. You think this is going to start being like a trend? They're just going to be like, look, we can't take it anymore.
Yes,
We're
Yeah, I hope so. Sue then.
Because
They do lock up.
this is your image.
Yeah.
This is your reputation. You can't take those things back. You never can go back. As Sunset just said, once that information is out there, people, what do you do? And people will absolutely believe the lie before they believe the truth, because that's the drama.
Every time. Oh, they love drama.
But how much do you think like the media is shaping this story,
They
shaping
should
these
never
cases?
covered it until they had all the facts.
Exactly.
Yes. Right.
In the media, you're guilty until you're proven innocent.
Don't you know?
Okay?
Yes.
That's by the media. So please, I don't play. That's why I don't be in rooms that I'm not supposed to be in, because I just don't trust people.
I carry NDAs in my bag.
Literally. Okay. The way I move, I have to.
I'm serious, because people.
Wow.
People crazy.
Well, you know that's what Puffy did. He had people sign NDAs. Hey, I'm just saying what's out there.
Right. Oh no.
Right. Oh my God. So he did add this elderly abuse. So that really, you think that helps his
He's
case?
an old man now.
He is.
Yeah,
But now he was 75 when they said
That's
that.
still-
That's an old man. That's elder.
Yeah.
It is
That's
abuse. Yeah, it's abuse.
So how do you think these allegations are going to affect his legacy?
It already has.
That's right, you're right.
And which is why I think he should sue for the amount he's suing. I would have sued double.
I heard
because
that.
I don't play that. Like, if you're going to play with my name, I'm not only going to go to the extreme to prove my innocence,
Right.
but I'm going to do more to show you, like, you should have never played
That
with
you
me.
shouldn't
Like,
have messed
no.
with
It's
me.
the fact that they're
Yeah.
housekeepers, though. So how they gonna come up with $500 million?
Like, yeah.
They've been working on them years.
That's right.
That's why they put these allegations on them, because they need some money.
We have to take a quick commercial break, but don't move. When we come back, we're taking things back to ChatGPT. And hey, they might be better, as ChatGPT might be better therapists than actual humans. You heard it right here. Okay, so stay tuned. You're watching POV.
Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in on social media. It is Friday Junior, and you know I got a question. So, what celebrity death did y'all take the hardest? I'm gonna go first, okay? When Aaliyah died.
Oh my
Somebody was
goodness.
going to say that.
When Aaliyah died, when I tell you, me and my cousin cried like babies in front. When they announced it on 106 in Park, we cried like babies in front of that TV screen. Like, I was so hurt, like I knew her. Like, that was my sister. I cried like a baby. And also Kobe Bryant.
That was a big one for sure.
Yeah, those hit me really hard.
are
Kobe was my favorite basketball player.
Yeah. I know exactly where I was when I heard it. And I was so shocked because when I heard about Kobe, I was like, no, that can't be true.
So random.
He and his daughter, so random.
Yeah.
It really, and I wasn't like a Kobe follower, like it wasn't someone that I follow. And then, but when I heard it, just to see like maybe the man he had become to be better than he was, he had grown so much as a man. And I think that's what I started to like about him, and to find that he was taken and his daughter just like that.
Well, they say he found a cure to cancer. Oh. And he was sacrificed.
Yeah.
Now you hush.
Right. Okay. Well, y'all, I got to hush. But if y'all, whoever, celebrity that passed away that y'all took the hardest, drop it down in our comments so we can read through them and maybe respond. Who knows? But we're going to get back to the show.
Welcome back. This is the part of the show where we tap into the stuff that really matters. Why are y'all laughing? The things that live beneath the surface. This one might just shift how you think, how you feel, maybe even how you heal. Let's get into mind, body, and soul. A new study suggests ChatGPT might actually be a better therapist than real humans, at least in some couples therapy settings. Researchers had over 800 people try therapy sessions with either a human or ChatGPT, then rate things like empathy, emotional connection. And guess what? ChatGPT came out on top, especially when folks thought it was a person giving advice. It's longer, more detailed responses felt deeper and more personal than what human therapists gave. With more people already turning to AI for support, it looks like this could be the future of therapy. Would you ever open up to a robot therapist?
So they could kill me? Have you seen
right.
how robots
They can kill me.
Stop it. We gotta stop.
Absolutely not. So that they can manipulate my mind, because technology is light years ahead of us. So why would I ever open up to a robot when they process things completely different, and they're not even emotional creatures?
They have
It's
no emotion.
to any, whatever emotional responses that they're giving as advice to these people who were doing this test or whatever. How did you get an emotional response from a robot?
That's what I want to know.
Who gave them the emotion?
Well,
They had to be taught the emotion. They had to be programmed to be emotional.
Well, it's learning from us all the time. And the more
That's what
we
I said.
keep
I think
inputting, the more
these
it's
are-
learning and supposedly
So they learn
evolving.
our emotion.
Correct.
Yes.
And I think these are
And then
people
repeat.
that are very, very already broken people. So when you're already down to like a real low place, any level of something that you feel like is coming outside of the people, because a lot of people are detached from people these days.
Yeah.
And so it feels like somebody can disagree with you and give you this. So, you have those. So I think we need to just be aware of, and some people can't afford it. You look at that too. Some people can't afford to go to a therapist. So they feel like, hey, ChatGPT, $20 a month.
I'm gonna take a different edge on this. I think for me, it's like we gotta let go of AI. At a certain point where you cannot replace humans.
You cannot.
We are a very special species, right? We were put on this earth, whatever you believe in, God put us on this earth to be just that. Humans, right? To connect, to communicate with one another, to have experiences, to experience one another. Right. So when we start putting, computers and AI in place of humans, we lose empathy, we lose trust, we lose the very thing that distinguishes us between animals. And I think for something like therapy, like we just have to stop. There has to be a point where we say, okay, you know what? We need to go back to how we used to do things, to just being outside with one another, learning each other, right? People need to go outside and touch grass.
Touch some grass.
That's right.
We gotta get back to
I
reality.
did over the weekend.
Do a cartwheel.
Yeah, like we gotta get back to reality.
But okay, but people are putting all this information into AI, right? So when people are feeling things, they go to AI for this therapy.
Is it
right,
really
and
therapy, or are you just going to have a conversation?
But
that's different.
What does it mean about us when we feel so emotionally connected to AI? Really feel like we're getting answers from AI.
So
to
let's
help
look
us.
at this. These AIs, not only is it information we may put in currently, but there's people all over the world, that has put information, and it feeds from all things. If you watch when you go to ChatGPT, and you watch and put something, it'll show you the bars over, it'll show you different sources it's using.
Right. So there are liars manipulating ChatGPT all the time.
Exactly. So in my answer to Raquel's question where she says people are emotionally connected, again, those people now may need psychiatric assistance.
Oh, wow.
And I'm serious because some people get emotionally attached to even animals in a way where they start believing that they can get a response to where that person can listen to them in that way. Even objects. There are people attached to objects. There are people attached to things where they start believing that they're human too. And that's where we have to disconnect from that virtual reality and come into actual reality. It's dangerous. I think that's just
But like inanimate objects actually like having feelings. They're feeling like, oh, this is really like,
you gotta be
remember that woman that we talked about last week or the week before that married the
the AI.
the AI person.
She said they were having good sex.
That's right, honey. She said the sexting was, honey. Out of this world, basically.
That's what she said.
Oh, let's stop. Stop.
What do you think people are feeling so emotionally connected because they feel that AI is not judging them?
They can feel a lot, but people lack accountability and they lack realism.
Absolutely.
We gotta live in reality, guys.
Correct.
Like it's hard, it's tough for everyone, but we must live in the reality of the truth. And the minute we steer away from that, now we're living in a reality that does not exist. And that is very dangerous.
What happened if these grids happen to shut down? You can't. So then what they're going to do?
Exactly.
And then you're going to have people where they're going to be manic and running around
Exactly.
wanting to kill
Right.
people
I remember how it was when they shut TikTok down. For
there you
24
go.
hours.
People were running like,
Yeah.
like we gotta.
I just want to see what the world with the way the world is now. I want to see what the world would look like if the internet was gone for a week.
Oh, see,
Just
I
a
was
week.
thinking, yes.
I want to know where would people be? What would people be doing if you did not have the internet for 1
Let's
week?
go on the
You
internet
mean,
fast.
wait,
Who are you?
Internet disconnect.
Without the internet.
Without the internet.
You mean like the grids cut down?
Yes.
Like
Everything?
just everything. There's
Peace.
no
Yes.
internet. There's
That
no
would be
listen.
peace.
That was
No
peaceful.
internet.
Oh
No
my God.
social media. There's no
Social
nothing.
media, that's fine.
You
But
can
the
call. You
internet-
can make a phone call. You can make a phone call. But I'm literally just talking about social media.
Okay,
If social
please,
media was
just
gone, my
keep
bad.
it.
Let me clear
Don't
it up.
say internet, say social media.
If social media was gone for 1 week, because we saw how y'all acted about TikTok.
Yeah.
Now I want to see what happens if the whole, like all of social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of it just gone. Blackout, a complete blackout for 1 week. Who are you?
You can take
should.
social
You should.
media, but do not take that internet.
I want to know who y'all are without social media. That's what I want to know.
curious.
I'm scared about the internet, period.
Oh, yeah, me
what,
too.
what do we do before that?
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk
We
about
had
that.
real
You created
conversations.
one.
People had
conversations.
people showed their real personality. They didn't
Yeah.
have to pretend to be somebody else on social media.
Right. Y'all, please don't take away, don't talk about taking no internet no more. We're going to switch things up and move on to our final segment of the day. Let's get into unpopular opinion. Jeff's hilarious. Made a bold statement about womanhood and the power of the uterus during her appearance on The Breakfast Club. Okay. But guest Lene Vanny wasn't having it and challenged her right on the spot. What started as a conversation about identity turned into an uncomfortable moment that's now got the internet weighing in from all sides. Let's take a look at how it all unfolded.
And for you, I want somebody who knows that women can have babies.
Oh, okay.
Only women can have babies. I just want to let you know that.
Interesting. There are other people who can have babies.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if they have a uterus, they can have babies. But they just might not identify as woman.
Okay.
Those are two different things. Like, you can be biologically female, but you can't be biologically woman. Because woman is a gender construct, a social construct. But if you got a uterus, yeah, you can have a baby.
Yes, that's the point. If you have a uterus, you can have a baby.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we agree on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
what you
agreed.
think?
Agreed.
Womanhood
Stop.
is just about biology, or is it
It's
something
not
deeper?
just about biology, but let's not steer away from the conversation. What she was saying is women have babies. It's the
Right.
truth. You should not
That's
be
facts.
offended. We just talked about this. We cannot be offended by reality. Just because you may want me to call you a man or a woman because you identify as that, I may not want to do that. So I ask people, what is your name? And I'll address you as such. You cannot force your belief onto me. Right? The way in which you were made is the way in which you were made. It's not to offend you, right? I think the conversation is now being had because people now want you to change the reality of what you're seeing to appease them in their comfort.
Now,
and
you
to me,
better
that's
preach it.
asinine. That is
I
asinine.
beg to differ just a little
you
bit
better
because
preach. Now,
I
you
feel
better
like
preach it.
I understand. I don't want to be ignorant to your thoughts. I understand exactly what you're saying, but I do also feel like it's a level of respect. I don't think it's people all the time. Now, sometimes it may be people forcing their belief onto you, just like church folk do sometimes. But I do feel like when you do have somebody who identifies as a woman, even though they might have been a born male, if they present themselves to you as a woman, of course, yes, address them by their name. But if they're coming to you fully dressed and and you see a woman first, do you though? I feel like.
Come on now.
I feel like.
Now, Jody, you know,
if a man walked in here,
if
a trans woman walked in here right now and that woman was fully dressed and looked like a woman, I'm going
But
to
look like
use
a woman to who? Because I've seen them where they don't look like women to me, but that's not my place to say you don't look like a woman. You know what I mean? Because they may dress up like one, but I still see a man. So I'm not trying to disrespect them. All I'm saying is, what's your name?
It's not
I'll
about
call you by
disrespect,
that.
but
Yeah.
there is a reality, though.
Yeah,
It is a reality. Because how far is this going to go?
What do
you
you
got
mean?
some people that want to be called dogs and they're human.
Yeah.
Like, how far are we really going to take this? Now, come on now.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking
Well, it's
about
the same
I'm talking about the
category, though.
No, it's not, because that's an animal, and I'm talking about like
But these
an
people
actual
think that
gender.
they are humans that think that their gender is some form of a
Well, I
person.
feel like out of respect, if that person wants to be a donkey, you address them as donkey.
No, you are a man and a woman.
I see why
That's it.
they dress them as their name.
Yeah, that's why I do
Yeah.
that.
That way,
And that way,
I do.
And that's
I eliminate-
respectable.
Yeah, that way you could
That's
cut
respectable.
all that out.
I just don't want it to
But
be
your
like a
name,
disrespect
like they said on
thing,
Little
And
you
that's
Women
know?
of
why I
Amanda,
do
your
that,
name.
because I feel as though when they start saying,
If you don't know,
it's like I didn't know. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I feel like
Yeah.
if this is a message to everybody out there, if you don't know, then don't assume.
Yeah.
Ask them their name
I ain't
and
going through all
then
that.
call them their name. Don't be
I
disrespectful
ain't
like
going through all
Willie.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Call me
goodness.
what you want. I am not going through all
Willie
that.
would be mad if somebody walked in here and called him Wendy.
You call me whatever
Hey, y'all,
you
that's a
want to.
wrap
I
for
know I
today's
got
show.
what I got
But
between
before
my
we
legs.
sign off, we'll leave you alone, Willie. We'll leave you with the quote of the day. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one.
Hello.
Come on,
Dr. Maya
Doctor.
Angelou. That's right. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll catch you next time right here on Point of View, only on AfroTV, darlings. Woo! See you next time.